Alright, welcome back. Is the microphone better this time? I set the latency to normal, so there'll be a lot more of a delay, but hopefully it doesn't sound bad this time. Alright, is the microphone better this time? Alright, I'm getting yups, so I'll go back to live. There we go. Alright, there's definitely a lot more latency this time. Alright, to continue what I was doing, adjusting these values to get the knots in the wood. I want to get the scale right for this object too. So that's about right. There we go. Only issue, it's not really on this side, so I think that's more of just the location. Is it only on this side? Should be working. Could it just be... Huh. Could it be because of the mirror modifier? It's looking darker now. I'm still not getting anything really on this side. Here, I'll adjust the Musgrave maybe. Now we're getting some of that on here. I think that's good enough. At least for the knots in the wood. So I'll take all of this, and then if you have things in a row, when you press Shift equals, it'll line them up perfectly. That just looks a lot nicer. And I'll put them in a frame. So you click each of them. Oh. Click each of them, then the frame, and then I think it's Shift P. Yep. Wait. Nope. Control P. Control P. Alright, yeah, that's it. So those are the knots. You can name them. There we go. And I'll check chat. And this will just be either a mask or I can do a color ramp for that. But next I want to add the other parts. So next I'll add the grain to it. Which this mix RGB. Noise. All right. So that gives some of the noise, but I think value isn't really good right now. So first of all, I'll realign the mapping so it goes along the same way as the other one, which let's see what I do. -15 on the rotation. Alright, maybe I'll adjust that more. Something like -70. And I'll make that -70 as well. Does that look better? Alright, yeah, that definitely looks better on this as well. So back to the grain. The scale definitely has to go way down on the waves. And then there. Then you'll get more of that wood. Set it to like 0.25. Yeah, that looks good. Everything else looks pretty good there. Set the factor to something where I get those nice little curves through it. Here, I'll add a color ramp to help get more control of the white and black. Something just around here. I'll do 0.35. Now make scale more detail. And then some distortion to get more wood. 1.5. That's looking more like wood. Alright, let me check chat again. Chill stream indeed, definitely. Do I know any free editing software? I've heard of one. I think it starts with an L. I use paid editing software though. I got it a few years ago. And I've just been using that still. It's called Movie Studio 14.0. Crisp Dip just subbed before the stream started. Welcome. This is the AK model that I've been making about the last week. I'm just texturing it right now, trying to get a nice wood. And then, since this is generated, I don't really need it anyways, because generated is the default for a texture coordinate, so I don't need that up there. Or do I? Oh yeah, I need it because it's a mapping node. What did I mess up? Why is it... Oh yeah, I added Musgrave and didn't adjust it yet. I'll do 5. Use HitFilm Express if you can't afford something like Adobe. Yeah, I've heard of HitFilm Express, but I forget what the one I'm thinking of is called. Last time you checked, it wasn't Lightworks. I haven't really heard of any of these. Oh, I meant Mix RGB. Now it's all white. Where did I mess up? What? This to here. Why is it all white? Oh, the color ramp is doing that. Alright, there we go. So we have that, and then we have the knots. I'll call this part... First of all, I'll line it all up with shift equals. And then I'll put it in a frame. Control P, and then name it. I'll name it wood. I would use the word texture because it's like the texturing along it, but this is for the main like texture, so that might not make sense. I'll just name it base, I guess. So now I can use both of these to try to make, these knots, and I can use this wood base to try to get the color now. Let me move this over. And we'll view that. I'll use a multiply node to, or that's part of Mix RGB. I'll multiply both of these. There and there. To get a good mix. So, factor, I want to have just about 0.75. Isn't there a free Microsoft editing software? I haven't heard of it if there is. I know that Blender does have some video editing, but I don't think it's that good. Alright. Now I can use this black and white. It has a mask between colors. So I'll do a color ramp and plug that to here so we can view it as BSDF, so it actually has lighting and stuff. Alright. First of all, I have to find a nice dark color, dark brown. I'll start with white, and then adjust it. Wait, not alpha, HSV. Something like that would be a good base for the inside ones. And let me add one in the middle to get better control. I'll copy this one and make it a bit lighter. Like that. And then now all that's left is the last white one, which I'll go more of a peachy color. So I'll copy just to get a base to work off of, and then it's looking fairly good, but not really any normals yet, so I'll do that next. I can just use this and add it to a normal map in the bevel. So let me just move these over, and then bump. This will be the height, and plug that in. Let's see how that looks. Alright, it's really heavy right now, but I can change the values. Distance would be a lot less, maybe like 0.25. It still looks kind of crazy, so strength will go down too. Oh, wrong one. Maybe 0.25 as well. There, that's looking still a bit heavy. I'll turn them both down. Maybe 0.2. There, that's looking pretty nice for the normals. And then even with so, which adds a it doesn't even add more geometry, so the geometry will still be completely flat along these edges, but then it'll just alright. It's still looking kind of bland, so I want to add at least one more layer into this. And then this is what's nice about the frames. You can move the whole thing as one. Alright, I'll test by for the base color, I'll just add some minor compression so that it looks like the wood is being compressed. So first of all, wave texture, and what that looks like this, but then you can also do distortion, and that'll be nice for compression. So let me move that down here and view that again. I'm going to add mapping for this again so that I can adjust the rotation, which is -70. Just so that it follows the rotation of this. And now the values. First of all, it'll be quite a bit higher because it'll look pretty compressed. I'll do 20. That's good. Distortion, maybe 5? No, 6. Yeah, that looks good. And then more detail, which will just, see, it'll make it more like that. I'll leave that at like 5. And then detail scale, that makes it pretty crazy, pretty fast. I'll just do like 2.5. That looks good. And then you also get these nice, along the top, that looks pretty realistic for the stock. And then all that phase offset does is you could move that to get a different space for it to start, but I'll just leave that at 0 because it doesn't really matter. Now I can use this. I'll multiply that into the color. So multiply, which is a mixed RGB. And change that to multiply. The color from here. Let's view that. So now there's some of that compression, but it's definitely way too high. So I'll change the factor down. Maybe just like 0.25 again. That's looking good. So I'll move that up and plug it into the color. Let's check the wood. So try to get that working good. All that is, it's nice for procedural things to use object space, in my opinion, because that will actually use the coordinates on it. And generated, this is what it'd look like. It sort of scales with the geometry, so in these areas where it's tighter up here, like there's more geometry along this top, and then there's less along the bottom, it'll actually scale to that, which I don't like, so that's why object space is what we use. And then next we're using rotation so that we can get it lined up. And then next, when we add it to the wood and handguard, I can change the rotations to follow those next. So let's see what it looks like again. Now I can just copy all of this with A. I'll copy, and then on the grip, I'll paste it. And the rotation will be the same as this, but now let's adjust that. Let's see. It was easiest to see with the wave texture. So, there we go. Now, -30. Yeah, that looks really nice on it. So, I'll change that on all of them now. -30. -30. Oh wait. And then view it as a principled BSDF. I can change, on the top one I only use this to check what, this is just sort of like a seed. It'll move which point in space the texture is mapping on. It's hard to see because it moves so fast, but those can just be 0. And then last, I'll add that to the handguard. Copy, paste. And this one, the rotations can be 0, I think, since it's perfectly parallel. 0. And last one, 0. And let me check on the wave texture. Alright, that's up and down, so it'd be 90 actually. So I'll set it to 90 on all of those. And check how that looks. Let me reference photo. Let me check wireframe now. The thing is that the color is pretty off. I'll adjust that. Here, I'll get these lined up so it's easy to see. This has to be, that looks more purple. So this way. 0.035. How is that? Wait, I can just check material preview. Alright, that darkest color is looking a lot nicer. Let me check chat. I haven't checked in a while. Alright, the peach. So the peach is whatever the lightest color is, so even that could get a bit darker. And then the middle one will have to get darker too. Ah, now it's looking so bland. I'll up. Could I use the eyedropper tool? How's that work? Alright. And then the brightest. Ah, that's pretty bright. Might not look good. Yeah, that's way too bright. First of all, that can go down. And, there. Definitely get that redder color. It's getting closer. Still too red. And just down the saturation, up the value. Nope. A tweaking to get this color right. The brightest might be too bright still. Can't get it. Maybe I move this some. I could just try to move these around to get it right. Is that better? A bit. Alright, so it seems the spectrum ends a bit earlier. Yeah, ends about right here. I think that's looking better. Yeah, that's definitely better than before. Let me check if that's looking nice. So I'll just copy the color ramp and paste it for these. Color goes into color and here. And for the height in the bump map. And now this one. For the base color and the height map. There we go. And that'll be using edge wear, scratches, and what else? Edge wear, scratches, and probably some noise on the normals. All right. I just realized the bottom here looks kind of weird. That's fine. I could adjust that some other time. Alright, to start, I'll just do the bevel to get rid of all the sharp edges. So there, I do 16 samples. And then what do I have to do? Let's wait. That's looking much. Just get and closer that way. Next, I'll add for the reflections to make it less smooth everywhere, since this is more of a like beat down metal. I'll add some roughness to the normal. So noise texture. Alright, bump. To the height. Oh, it's easier to view the noise texture. Or actually, I'll do the bump. First of all, Control T, you have to be using Node Wrangler. If you press Control T, it'll automatically put those in for you. And again, I'll use Object Space so that it doesn't warp with the size of the geometry. And there, now it's looking a lot smoother on all sides. So first of all, the detail has to be a lot higher. Maybe 10. And it still looks weird, so because the bump is way too powerful. Distance should be like 0.05. maybe 0.05 on both of them. And then let me just check how that looks. So I don't have to go in rendered view, I'll just get rid of the bevel node for now and check how that looks. Not strong enough. So I'll up the strength and distance, maybe 0.2. Now it's too much. So down a bit. Oh wait, I just had that. And it's looking a bit better for the lighting. And then now I'll just render it quick with the bevel node, see what it looks like in rendered view. It better, so now let me check the reference. First of all, it's a lot more black than what I have as the base color. And also, it has these sort of smudges of lighter gray. So I think I'll try a Musgrave texture for that. And color ramp first. Musgrave texture. And then map that using object space. Oh, I accidentally pressed it twice. There. I'll just adjust the Musgrave texture first, so I'll view that. Scale. Alright, I'll leave. They were pretty smudgy, they didn't have much detail, so. Something like this. And now I'll improve the color ramp. Alright, so nothing is completely black. One's like that, one's a bit brighter. Maybe, let me check that again. It's actually not too smudgy. Must have been remembering it wrong, so I'll adjust the Musgrave again. Yeah, this definitely is too smudgy now that I'm looking at it again. Something, one good 0.75 there. I think, now it's more smudgy than this, so. Dimension 1.5. I'm noticing now that there are the little dots still I have to add sort of all over. Let me see if I can do that with noise. Oh yeah, and I have to map that in object space too. And we just want this getting small dots, so I should be able to get those. There, and we could use this as a mask for that. So we have both, oh wait, this. Let me just move that whole color ramp over. And these. I'll try mix RGB, multiplying them together. Listen to this. Oh wait, I wanted us multiply, I forgot to do that. There. And flip those. Actually, do I want it as mix? Maybe darken? I think I should flip the colors actually. So the first one is white. Oh. Oh yeah, there. And then the last one is black. No, I wanted white should be the spots. I guess this is what I'm going for. About point. Yeah, about 0.55. Only thing is I'm noticing they're only inside of where the white area is. Let me check, just make sure yeah, they should be in other areas too. I guess mix will work for this. So how's that look with the color ramp? Oh, I forgot to plug it in. It's getting those, but I don't like how noticeable. It looks like too smudgy in the... Wait. It looks too smudgy in these areas, and it looks too abrupt in these ones. Let's see. If I can smooth these out just by adjusting the distance, so 0.652, 0.663. On this one, I'll add 10 to 7.3, and then on this one, I'll subtract 10 to 4.2. And that smooths it out, but it's tiny. So I'll keep adding maybe 0.7. Wait, what was it before? So that's plus about 30, let's say. And what if I do 0.6? Those are a lot smudgier, looking nice. But how does it look with the color ramp? Let me check the reference again. Oh, that's the issue. The spots are meant to be brighter, so I'll flip the color ramp. There we go, that's looking a lot nicer. Yeah, very similar to this. Although maybe the smudgy areas should be easier to see. like in this case it'd be brighter. So on here, before I put it in the color ramp, I could multiply. Oh wait, wrong one. Delete. I meant to do that on the Musgrave texture. Math, multiply. Let me check chat, haven't done that in a while. Who would be your advice to someone who is looking for a good multiplayer solution to use for a survival game? It depends on what type of survival, but I would recommend Tom Weiland on YouTube. Tom and then Weiland. He has a really good networking solution, and it's a public series. He has an example project you could download, and he explains it all as he makes it. I'd recommend that. And he's working on his new solution, Riptide, which is private right now, but it'll be a lot better than his current one. Alright, back to this. I could multiply it to get those brighter. So something like 3. And then let me check the color ramp again. I think 1.5 looks good. 1.75? Yeah, there we go. And then back to this. Or actually, I can view it as a principled BSDF, so we get the lighting. Oh, flipped over. Oh, there we go. Not a fan of the bump now that I see it again. I'll have it use this for it. Could I do that? Or I could at least use it for these parts. So let me see what that looks like with that as the height. Alright, then those will be bumped out, but we want them to bump in, if that makes sense. So invert. And that's too strong. Distance 0.01. Strength 0.02. About that. Then actually, I don't know about that. I don't think that we should have the bump yet. Thinking it's definitely a lot easier to see the difference here than here. So I have to make these two colors further from each other. So this one brighter, something like that. That's a bit too much. There. Then this one darker. And not fully black because that looks bad. But just a bit up. 0.05. And then I just like getting these numbers nice, so 0.3. There. And I have the... Oh, what happened to it? Must have clicked something else. It's looking... Edgeware now. for now, I'll do a simpler edgeware. Let me check. Yeah, I already have it, edgeware. But it's really simple edgeware. I just got it from a tutorial and adjusted it slightly. Oh, wrong one. Do I have it? Wait a sec. Where would that be? Group? Where's the one I made? Edgeware. It's not one of these M or P ones. Node group? I guess I didn't name it. But basically all that it is, it's a mask for the edgeware. Here, it'll I still want to so I want to look at that. So what we just made, you would plug this into the top, and then you make another one, another shader. I didn't copy the bevel. Let me move that. Oh, why can't I? Shift D. There we go. And then you'll make the worn down look, put that into the bottom mix shader, and then plug that into your shader. And just for simplicity, I'll make it completely white. I'll have to adjust some values. Oh, I forgot to plug in the node group, so there's the mask into the factor. Now it should look. Rendered view. There you go. So let me make that now. I'll just view what it is. Should be more metallic because it's sort of cut into it. The color shouldn't be full white, but it should be brighter. About, let me get that as a nice number, so 0.55. Specular, I'll leave that at 0 because Unity doesn't use specular, and I'll be exporting this to Unity. Roughness, I think, would that be, it would be a bit more rough, so 0.65 because it's sort of beat down, so the roughness would be more. And let me check how this looks. Because it was a bit hard to see, so 0.8 on HSV. Wait, I accidentally made it full white. Ah, it keeps disappearing. There, 0.8 or 0.75, a bit darker than that. So well. Alright, next I'll try to use that pack to try to get scratches. So let me check how they do it. It's part of the asset pack in that tutorial. So I'm checking on my second monitor for it. Actually, is it in this project that I had it for testing? Yeah, I think so. I'll just put it on the dust cover for now so I can view it. Yeah, masks. This is what you get in the pack. And it won't work on this object because you have to bake the curvature, so it'll look bad now because I didn't bake curvature. But I think scratches work without the curvature, if I remember right. Let me delete that. View this. Yes, they do. So there are some scratches on here now. Now I could just, let me move these down. And see what's the difference between this. This one looks worse. So I'll copy this one, and that'll be an object space mapped. So here we go. In the body material, I'll paste. Where's that? Down here. And see how that looks. I'll switch this back to the dust cover material. Doesn't... Oh yeah, I have to go to object space. Why did that use image texture? Here. And object. There we go. Now there are some scratches. Although there's a circular one, that's weird. I should adjust some values then. Mask. I'll mask about 0.925. Is that good? Maybe slightly more. What if I do 1? Alright, 1 looks pretty nice for the amount. Or actually, I'm going to adjust that again. 0.94, slightly less. That's looking a bit better. Tiles. 9. Oh, no. 8.5. There we go. I'll leave mask at 1. I like a lot of scratches on it because it should look pretty beat. Yeah. Alright, thickness. Oh! These will be pretty thin, so maybe 100. Yeah, that looks good. And I think distortion's too high, which is why there was the circle one. Let me... First of all, what it looks like with 0, they're all just straight lines. Now I'll up it till it looks good. Maybe about 16 good? I think 16 was good. Right about here. Yeah, that looks nice. Distortion factor. I'll just keep adjusting these. Maybe if I do distortion as more, but then the factor as less. I'm looking at this side because it has more to view. .1, and the amount of distortion as 24. That's good. And let me just check, what's this last one? Oh, that's distortion in the scratches themselves. Let me just put... Yeah, I'm not really liking that. I might put it a bit up. Yeah, no, it looks good with 0. So now let me put this as the height for a bump map. That's inverted, so it looks sort of cut into the... So it looks sort of cut into the geometry. So let's put that mask into the height and view what this looks like. All right, there we go. Looking scratched into the surface. Why is it? Oh, wait. Oh, I should be viewing mix shader. Same material as well. So I just have to copy these. This to here. Copy. I could Shift D, move them, and delete the old. Move that here and assign it. Now let's see how that looks. The scratches are definitely way too far in right now, but those definitely look like it's actually in the geometry, even though it's not. First of all, I'll just turn down the strength on both of them before checking. Strength should be like... Oh wait, I can't really. Maybe 0.15. And distance is pretty far because they're scratches, so 1. Now, only thing I'm noticing is there's this big open area here without any of them, so I'll just adjust the mapping node to move the location until we get a nice, like, seed, basically. This will be easier when viewing this. Ah, what's going on? Did the location just happen? Wait a sec. The further I go... Oh, I see. What? Maybe I have to keep location at 0? Maybe I could make the scale higher. What if I make the scale like 2.5? Now it just looks tiled, so I guess I do have to keep those all at 1. I'll just keep adjusting to get this area filled. Tiles, 9. Mask more or mask less? I don't want a ton of scratches. Tile 7, 8, 12. Why is it stopping here? That's what I'm wondering. I can never get them right here. What if I just mask them all? Alright, so there are some there. Yeah, it must have to do with where it masks off. Could I change location in other ways? Nope, this one has to stay. How about Z? Yep. Okay. I guess this looks good. There are some over here. And then I could always improve the edge wear later after the stream probably. But I should probably get to texturing the next parts. So I'll do the trigger guard. Which, by the way, I noticed when I was rendering the radius on the bevel was way too high. Cause that looks way smooth. So, 0.5. Then now I'll add the same edge wear, which would be this, and then would there be scratches on the trigger guard? Not really. Actually, the trigger guard looks like it's the same material, so I think I could just copy everything from the body and adjust it. Let me copy all of that, which now that I'm looking at that out here, it looks like quite a bit. And then on the trigger guard, paste it and see what it looks like. That actually looked really good, but oh, and look at that. This little scratch, it even lines up because of that. That's awesome. Even though these are completely separate objects. Alright, well, the edge wear was too much, so I'll adjust that now. Right here. Size. I'm gonna have to go into rendered view to check this. Back in material preview. Oh, this shouldn't have the same. Let me just, oh, it should. I thought that that would use a different material. Looking not bad. So far, let's see what we've got. The texture. Yeah, I'm loving that. Alright, I'll adjust the wood a bit more. It's not, doesn't have enough. It's too flat this way. Let's see. Wood stock. Check something. All right. So let me find why. One thing I just noticed is that it looks like the knots here, by the end it doesn't look like that's really in the color. Or is it? Let me see close up. I guess it is. It just doesn't look strong enough though. Let me check when we're mixing them. Right here. Yeah, that's definitely... Maybe instead of mix, I should use multiply. Let me adjust that. Let's see how that looks. Alright, there we go. That must have been why. So, relatively small number, so I'll do 0.5. Now what should the wood look like? Now it's... I think it's better, but now I have to adjust the colors again. But yeah, that's definitely a lot better. Alright. First of all, this color can go further out. And less bright. I think it should be closer to this. And then... Should it go to darker and then brighter, maybe? See how that looks? So, the purple should definitely, the purplish color should definitely be near the bottom. It's just these two pieces that I'm trying to get right. Here, I'm gonna get the hex of... I practiced this before to make sure I could get good colors. I just copied the hex code of what I got before. Alright, yeah, that definitely looked a lot better after I pasted that. And let me check what I did for the last one. And then the last one, here's the hex code. And... there. Is that looking better? I'm not sure. It's definitely looking too, like, gray in a way. Maybe I could liven it up a bit. Brighter, more saturated. I guess that looks good. Hang on. Still too peachy, though. I'll copy this and then just work off of it. Why can I not get something good out of this? I think it needs more variance in the long lines. Alright, yeah, that's looking better again. Back to adjusting the colors though. I guess that looks good. So I'll copy those changes, these two, and then paste it on the other ones. Delete, paste this color and into here. See. Alright, now the handguard. Delete those two and paste the new ones. I'm sure that there's a better way to adjust the rotation for the specific objects, but this is just what I'm doing. It works. Alright, in render view. I feel like it didn't really too good. Just rotation to the other side here. This. Handguard. Oh yeah, I adjusted the light to the other side, so 0. Let me check chat. Looks like you use smooth shade. I did use smooth shading on lots of this. You notice the mag release looks like a solid piece. That's because it actually is right here. It's just a bit thickened. It's only, let me check how many vertices. 32 and then mirrored, so 64. That's not too many. The wood looks nice. Thank you, Zippy. Epic game, by the way. Thank you. I'm excited to get these guns in the game because I just finished some an object-oriented item system, so it'll be a lot of fun to start actually adding these. And Blender's loading again. Is it gonna crash? Nope. Alright. So next I can probably do the dust cover. So let me check what that looks like. It's about the same as the body, but less of the noise and brighter and more metallic and less rough. So I could probably just copy the body, this node setup, paste it and adjust it. I'll try to get this bigger since YouTube compresses the video to try to make it easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. So I'll delete that, paste the body, now adjust it. So first of all, much brighter, so I'll add 0.2 to all of these. So that would be 0.25. And the other one, let's see, what was that color? 0.3, so now 0.5. And I think I actually nailed that. Yeah, I nailed the color there. But now I have to get rid of all of the noise on it, or at least make it less obvious. And, could I just multiply that before putting it in the color ramp? Or divide it, but multiplied by less than 1? Let's see. Multiply by 0.5, 0.1. Yes, I can. That does work. 0.25. That looks about good. And then just checking on the reference again. It looks like there's... I think that works. I'll just offset both of the mapping nodes so that way it doesn't line up with the body since these are separate objects. I don't want things like these scratches to line up, or this smudge, any of that. So I'll just move the location on the X 10 for both of these. 10, 10, mapping node down here. Oh, is this the one for scratches? I forgot. Can I not move this one? Isn't that the one I can't move? Yeah, I can't move that one. I'll just have to deal with them lining up here. I guess they don't really. They're sort of offsetted. I'll just adjust the scratches a bit so that they're not all the same. And this piece would probably have a bit less scratches, so like 5. I'm not liking that they line up at the bottom. And now none are at the top. So 15. Alright, so it looks like I have to do an odd number, I guess, so that they don't line up with the side and now I could just mask more, or mask less of them. 0.9. 0.95. There we go. And yep. It's nice to be able to reuse all of the tools. Next I can't. Oh wait, I forgot to adjust the I haven't been adjusting the metallic or roughness for any of these. Maybe that's why the wood looks slightly off. So metallic, you never want that to be 0, so I'll just put it up a bit. 0.15. Roughness. Wood is a bit reflective, so I'll do like 0.4 maybe? And no specular. Maybe. I'll keep specular up a bit. 6.5? Yeah. Feel like the bumps are too heavy. I'll put those down again. 0.15. 0.1. That looks more realistic now. Did I already do the normal? Alright, yeah, I did. That's what I was just checking. What am I thinking? I think that looks good for the wood values. I'll just try to remember 0.15 and then 0.52. 0.15, 0.52. Now on the handguard, 0.15, 0.52. Now I'll adjust these parts, which is, this will be metallic because it pretty much is metal. Maybe 0.7. Yeah, this won't be reflective. It's a pretty rough material. Not 1, but about 0.65. That looks... Maybe that's too much. .525. That looks good. Wait, is that part of the trigger guard? Nope. They just have the same material. Wait, let me check what. Alright, yeah, I guess that follows the trigger guard. Alright, now I'll copy these values to the trigger guard since they're the same. Alright, 0.7 and then 0.525. Copied. 0.525. And there we go. I'm not really liking that this piece though is the same. I feel like it looks a bit lighter. I'll give it its own material. First of all, copy all of this so I can just adjust it. New material, I guess grip to body. And then I'll adjust the colors just to a bit brighter. I'll add 0.1 to each of them. 0.06. Oh wait, no. I'll add 0.15 it would be. And then this one would be 0.45. There we go. And then I'll offset the color so it doesn't line up with this part. So the mapping nodes, 10 on the X, 10 on the X. And then I can't on the scratches, but there aren't really any scratches there, so it doesn't matter. Definitely cool. Main thing I'm noticing though is the connection between this and this right here isn't looking. It doesn't have a real long edge here, and I think that's just because there aren't faces there, which there shouldn't be because you'll never see them. But yeah, that's why. So I could just fill it for the edgeware, and then before I export FBX, I could just delete those extra faces. So let me hide those, and then fill this. There we go. Now if I check rendered, at the bottom, and it looks like there. Let me just check closer. Is it using the same as here? No, it's not. What else is using gray? This? I'll give it its own material so I can adjust the edgeware. So this would be new material, iron sight. Oh, it already, I didn't have to paste it. Alright, now I can adjust the edgeware. Which is, where's the edgeware? Right here. The size should just be a bit bigger, so maybe 0.2. 0.02 I meant. Alright. Whenever I go rendered, it sort of cuts my mic, so I'll try to go in and out of that as fast as possible. 0.03, and now I'm going to render. That looks pretty good, but maybe a bit much, so 0.025. That should be about perfect. Yep. I feel like Oh, is that because have I adjusted metallic and stuff on it yet? No, I haven't, that's why. So this will be pretty metallic, like 0.7. Or actually, isn't it more metallic than the body? The body's 0.7, so yeah, I'll do 0.85. And a bit less roughness, I'll do 0.35. There we go, that fits a lot better now. I'll add, I can do the charging handle part next. So let me check the reference. It looks about the same as the dust cover. So I could basically just copy that and then make it a bit brighter. Let me copy this whole setup. And on here, delete, paste that. And then make it a bit brighter. First of all, a bit more rough because it's used a lot, so it'd be sort of beaten down in a way. And less metallic, maybe 0.5-ish. And now brighter. I'll just adjust both of these by adding another 0.1, or actually no. Yeah, I'll add another point. I'll add 0.2 actually, 0.45, and then this part would be 0.7. There we go. And there's the charging handle thing. Next I'll do the barrel. Just let me click off that. It looks about the same as the body. Maybe smaller nicks though. Like all of these little smudges and nicks in it will be smaller on the barrel. So I think again I could just copy that and adjust it. So I'll copy the body shader. Control C, and then on the barrel, let me name that barrel. I don't know why it was called black. Delete and paste. Now to start off, that already looks pretty good. Less. Oh, let me just make sure. I'll check the tip of it. Right. So I'll get out of that rendered view. Is the barrel any color difference? No, it's the same. So before ending, all I have left is these two and this. The little iron sight piece, and then these. Which if I check the reference, It's about same as body in color, but it doesn't have any of those smudges, it looks like. Alright. So I'll just copy the body and then remove smudges. And that should be about it for these. Alright, where are the smudges? Is that this? Yep. Or actually, should I get rid of those? Hang on. Alright, so they're still the nicks, so yeah, I'll remove this. Delete. And I can delete the mix shader and just put this in as the factor. Now how's it look? Definitely needs less edge wear. Maybe 0.005. 0.01. More than that, 0.02. I'll do 5. That's too much. 0.03. I might make them a bit brighter just so that you can see them compared to the body. So brightness, I'll add 0.1 to each of them. Yeah, that definitely lets you differentiate them a bit. So all that's left is this part, and then making sure this looks good. Alright, yeah, good. Maybe I'll give this part its own material. Name it iron sight thing. I don't know what to call that. And then make the edge wear a bit less. So 0.01. Yep. Now, last part is the iron sight piece. Because like I said, I haven't really made the magazine model. I really just followed the reference quickly to put this on. Alright. Let me check in the reference. It looks the same as the iron sight like chunk here. So I'll try. What if I just assign that? How would that look? And that'll look good when I make it less edge wear. So the edge wear 0.005, because it'll be pretty. There won't be much. Maybe slightly more. 0.0075. Maybe 0.01. So I think that's it now. I'll just have to bake this after the stream. Bake all of the... Let me just get a view on this end of the stream. made all of these parts without any like examples or anything. So I think I'll end it here. Thank you to those who watched, and I'll see you all next time.